Hello, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Junius Maltby covered this story a little bit yesterday about how Putin has ordered the end of trade in U.S. dollars at Russian seaports. And this is a slightly different perspective on it. I'm kind of going to give you a little bit of a background here. How Russian President Vladimir Putin has instructed the government to approve legislation making the ruble the main currency of exchange at all Russian seaports by next year, according to the Kremlin website. And to protect the interest of stevedoring companies with foreign currency obligations, the government was instructed to set a transition period before switching to ruble settlements. According to the head of the Russian antitrust watchdog, many services in Russian seaports are still priced in U.S. dollars, even though such ports are state-owned. The proposal to switch port tariffs to rubles was first proposed by the president a year and a half ago. The idea was not embraced by large transport companies, which would like to keep revenues in dollars and other foreign countries' currencies because of fluctuations in the ruble. So it's about stabilization. And Artemyev said the decision will force foreigners to buy Russian currency, which is good for the ruble. In 2016, the agency filed several lawsuits against the largest Russian port group, NMTP. And so this is kind of working in that aspect. And I don't know how really well this will work out, because really it's no secret that Putin would like to see the ruble be the king of all currencies in the world, just as China would like to see the renminbi be the king of all currencies in the world. But really, the fact of the matter is, Russia's economy is so much smaller than that of the United States or many Western nations. And so really, this is just the beginning. I think in a way, this is kind of a flexing of a muscle move for the BRICS nations to maybe encourage them with the IMF. Now, this move alone does not necessarily mean there's a threat to the dollar by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think that it's a move towards when the nations meet, possibly with the IMF, to hopefully build their voting bloc to kind of create a new kind of what's known as like a super currency, as I mentioned in a prior video, and that could possibly pose a threat down the line to the dollar. But we shall see. The whole goal is to try to get rid of the petrodollar. In other words, all the oil is traded in dollars around the world with deals that were orchestrated from one Henry Kissinger back in 1973. Without it, who knows where the dollar would be today. The dollar is the most stable of the world currencies, and as of the latest news, we see that the dollar is getting stronger, and gold and silver prices are going down because of it. But nonetheless, I see this as sort of just a little blip on the radar when it comes down to it. But with all said and done, when you look at the grand scheme of things, there is a scheme, and certainly I think that there's parts of the world that would like to see the dollar not be the king of the currencies. They're all fiat, all around the world. None of them are backed by gold or silver, or have a rules-based monetary system within their countries. But so far, the dollar is the strongest and the best of the worst that's out there, and I believe that will remain to be the case for quite some time, in spite of any kind of activity or actions going along with the IMF. And as Rickards predicted next month, October the 15th to be specific, I just don't think much will happen from that, even though we'll report on it here on the channel, because anytime there's a threat, or there's a move towards, this idea of what is going to happen to the dollar, how well it'll be affected down the road. It just depends. A lot of it depends on the U.S. economy, and the U.S. economy right now is looking pretty good. So post your thoughts below about this story, and where you think things are going to go. Do you think this is a bigger deal than I'm making out to be? I try to be as balanced as I can in reporting these matters, because I don't want to be perceived as an alarmist out there. I think there's sort of a balanced view for all these type of things. But I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.